All right, guys, I'm on with Brian today. Hey, Brian.
What's up?
Brian, give a quick intro background of yourself. I know that you hit like a crazy milestone like recently. We'll get into that in a second, but give whoever's watching this video like an intro of you, your background, everything like that, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so I'm Brian. I'm 22. I just graduated Cal State Fullerton like in May, and I was with business marketing. Honestly, I didn't really care for it too much, but during that time in college, I also did start doing my own social media. So I have like a fitness brand. I'm trying to scale that up coaching wise, but I took a little pause from that because I got back into UGC and I'm doing pretty well with it because with the help of Gloria and some other people.
Sure. How long have you been in UGC for?
UGC, honestly, cumulatively, probably like almost 2 years now, or like a year and a half, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. And then how did you first like start and discover UGC for the first time?
So I discovered UGC when I was in college, probably like sophomore, junior year. And I was just like looking for new side hustles or new ways to make money online besides like online coaching. And then I was like, whoa, you don't need a following? That's kind of crazy because content seems like a fun thing and getting free stuff was always something that, a lot of Asians love. And I'm like, you know what? Let me go get some of that. So then I got into it a little bit.
100%. There we go.
Yeah.
And how long have we known you? How long have you been in the UGC Academy for? Maybe 6 months?
Around 6 months, yeah. Or a little more, yeah.
And then when you first started in, like before you even like heard of the UGC Academy, how were you landing deals and how were you going about your UGC business? And what were you kind of struggling with?
Yeah. So when I was first starting out, honestly, I did not like have much clarity. I was doing it just like scatterbrained and I only got a couple because I was with companies already, like Stan Store. Like they reached out to me and were like, "Oh, do you want to do a UGC?" I was like, "Oh, sure." And then that's how I got my like one of my very few gigs. I got like gifted collabs, but gifted collabs are kind of like the danger that we should not enter in UGC. I mean, when you first start out, sure, but longer term, you shouldn't do it. And I was like, you know what? I think it's important for me to figure this out because right now I have no system. So it's just me like manually outreaching and not getting anywhere. And then just me not getting any money. So I was just like, dang, I need to find a way to improve the system I got.
100%. And we'll definitely jump into that. Systems are key when it comes to UGC. But even like pre UGC, when you first picked up your phone, right, to film UGC videos, a question to you is like, how did you, get over that barrier that a lot of people get like stuck in, which is like, you know, not even having confidence on camera. So how did you kind of get over that? Especially as a new content creator, when you started UGC, like, how did you kind of go about that?
Honestly, it was a battle because when you first start out, right, a lot of people are going to be judging you and stuff. And that's something that is inevitable in anything you do in life. And I think a lot of people just have that limiting belief that, oh, just because my friends or family are going to see it, oh, I can't do this anymore. But if you really think about it, once you win once, every other time that they've like doubted you, they are finally wrong forever. So if you win one time, it'll prove them wrong forever. So if you
Mm,
make it happen, you make it happen and they'll never say anything again, or they might support you now. Your biggest haters will probably be the people that you know more, and the strangers are the people that support you more. You'll notice that as you go on your journey. And I highly recommend you to challenge yourself, right? I've seen people go viral just like talking about, oh, I'm super shy. My friends are probably gonna see this, but they just do it anyways. Because at the end of the day, you gotta live life with no regrets. So you might as well just go for it. And you just gotta treat the camera like a friend and just have at it, bro. And then see your life change. Not even maybe overnight or over time. You'll never know until you try.
yeah, for sure. What would you even tell that, guy that's like you? You know, maybe he went to college, maybe he's looking for a way to make money online. What would you tell him, if he's kind of on the edge of like giving UGC a try?
Look, bro, if you're just starting out in the business world, out of all the business that I've looked into, I've done a lot of research. I looked into stocks, options, crypto, drop shipping, Amazon FBA, literally everything. NFTs. I've done NFT game. I've done like the niches of the niches, bro. I'm telling you, UGC is one of the best businesses, if not the best business to start because it's low capital. It's very
Mm,
easy to scale. And all you need is a phone and Wi-Fi or some restaurant's Wi-Fi, and you can start doing stuff because it teaches you so much. You have to learn how to market. You get to learn how to use AI, which is inevitable in everything you do. You also learn how to message and articulate yourself as an authority or as
Mm,
someone that needs to command respect and value. And you just learn overall business because you're in basically an asset to every company now. And you need to understand, oh, how can I apply this knowledge to every business so that I can actually turn this into another business later down the line if you wanted to. So I
mm.
highly recommend it. It's great at teaching sales, marketing, and overall business.
So they get business skills from UGC.
A lot of it. A lot of it.
And I guess why I guess explain, do a quick like 60-second spiel for people that are new to UGC. What is UGC exactly? And why do brands even need UGC? Why do companies even need UGC?
So UGC stands for user generated content. And essentially what it is a lot of creators are making content for brands that is less adsy, right? We don't want the salesy ads, right? We want to make it fluid. A lot of people are trying to get their product out there, whether it's an AI, which is very common nowadays, or just some random product. You need marketing of some sort. And sometimes people are really scared to be on camera. And that's where you come in. You are not scared. So you decide to come in. You can make content for the brand to use for their organic or their paid ads. And then if they want you to, you can make an account dedicated to their exact brand and you can make a bunch of content for them for a different style of pay. And you get free product, you get paid, and you build yourself a nice little partnership with a brand. And then you get retainers.
100%. Beautiful explanation, Brian. And honestly, bro, people start UGC for many different reasons. I mean, maybe they do want to eventually become a business owner or like a brand owner, or something like that. But UGC is a great gateway. So you yourself, I know you're a life coach as well, and we're a fitness coach. And how did UGC kind of help you with that gateway to that overarching goal, that big goal of becoming a coach?
Yeah. So I would say UGC does help me think more like a business person because now it's like, okay, how can I come off as an authority without sounding too salesy, right? Because I think it's very important because a lot of people nowadays might try to do the coaching side or whatever business they're in and they try to get very salesy with it because they're desperate for money. But if you play the longer term game and you realize, okay, how can I build a brand for myself? That's how you'll last in the game and that's how you'll be able to market yourself. So I think it's really important for that. UGC has also taught me a lot of us about sales because a lot of times in sales, you might find yourself like, oh, I feel like an imposter trying to sell this person whatever X amount of pricing you were trying to sell them for. But you need to learn to value yourself because at some point in time, you're going to have to charge higher and you're going to need to realize that your time is worth a lot more than you think.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to just throw a number out there. And sometimes you're going to hear some backlash and then you're going to have to learn how to articulate yourself in a higher state and you got to be able to handle objections. So that's why I think UGC is great at teaching you the sales side because you learn B2B. And then at some point, you're going to have to learn B2C and B2B as well, even more. So I think it's really good to have UGC as a starter business.
Mm. And then even when you start a business for the first time, it can be challenging, you know? So what kept you going during the months where things were a little bit challenging for you?
Yeah. So business is always challenging. You're never going to have stability because it's never going to be that easy in this life. So one of the biggest things that helps you with it, actually two of these things. One, systems, right? If you have systems, right, it's basically like having routines and stuff that automatically works for you, right?
Mm,
VAs, AI, your ability to have a routine for yourself. That's super important. And then the next thing is having accountability, right? You can either have like coaches or you can have like a community, and that's great within the UGCA, right? You have coaches to help you, and then you also have a community aspect of other UGC creators that may be ahead of you, behind you, same level as you, and you all ride on that journey together, and you can talk about stuff and try to, support each other, network with each other, get to know each other, meet your next fiance, whatever it is, and you never know. Because I think it's super important for you to have community so that when someone else is struggling, they can help you get back up and continue your journey because you don't want to give up on yourself and you don't want to give up on other people.
mm, very inspiring. Much appreciated. And with that being said, like when you were even starting your UGC journey and you didn't have that community, like the UGC Academy or any coaching or any help with it, like What was the first thing that you learned, bro, that made you go like, oh my gosh, I've been doing this all wrong?
Yeah. So actually before you, I had someone else and they just gave a course and there was no like accountability. Um,
Hmm.
it was sucky because like, yeah, you can get the information, but nowadays, especially nowadays, you have AI. You can literally ask it anything you want. Like if you want to, you just be like, teach me everything about UGC. But in reality, you can do that. However, how likely is it that you'll implement and be able to overcome all the setbacks that might come your way? Because AI is very intelligent, but you're not able to get the human side of it. So you need to realize that even though you have all the information in the world, you need to have accountability and people to help you through the trenches because it's very lonely if you do it alone. And it's going to be very like almost burnout like at some point. And if you don't truly have clarity around what you're doing and you don't have like the many customized information, maybe from a coach or someone that's been there already, then you're going to get stuck there and then waste time and maybe quit. And that's what happened to me because after I learned all that stuff, I did it for a little bit, couldn't get anything besides that one inbound. And then I kind of fell off and then came back into it after a while with you and all the others. And now I'm here.
Yeah. And then also systems are you mentioned systems. They're huge in a UGC business. What systems did you start implementing after we met that completely changed your business?
Yeah. So some of the systems I have is definitely having a VA, right? I think a VA is one of the most underrated things you could have because if Bezos has millions of workers, why can't you have one worker? And it's
Mm,
amazing because we have access to people overseas and these people are willing to work for you at a basic cost effective price for us, right? Obviously our currency is stronger, so we can use that to help us rise our business, right? So what can we do? I outsource a lot of outreach to my VAs. So I'll have them go on my Reddit, my Instagram, my Twitter, or my LinkedIn, or my Backstage, or whatever it is. They can outreach to companies. I tell them exactly what to do. I have the SOP in place to make sure they do it exactly how I want it to. And then they can just do it on autopilot each and every day. And let's say it's 4 hours of work each day. If you could even get like 1 gig, it takes you an hour to film and you get like $100 bare minimum, you technically could cover like 30 hours worth of a VA and that could last you maybe 2 weeks worth and you save so much time. So that's important. Another thing is having AI help you. So let's say you get a bunch of emails from companies because, you're balling with inbounds. Maybe you don't know how to reply to this or you don't know how to negotiate higher. Have a UGC customized AI to help you with replying to these emails as well as maybe sending out emails, right? Another thing is having cold email systems. I
mm,
did have Apollo and what was the other one called? I'm blanking right now. Apollo with Lemless. Lemless. There's also many other alternatives that you can do, but basically you're just getting leads and you're just mass sending emails, right? Obviously you're investing to have a system constantly run for you pitching emails and following up, which is something that no one really wants to do manually because that takes forever and you're saving so much time. So it's just understanding that your time is worth much more than dollars. You can always get more dollars, but you can never get the time that you've wasted.
mm. Yeah, for sure. And it seems like you know a lot about systems and they made a huge impact in your business. And for the other men like you watching this video that think like, hey, I'm a guy, UGC wouldn't work for me, or I'm a guy and most creators are women, what would you say to those guys that are on the edge and they're like, ah, they don't think that their gender is playing, is helping them with being a UGC creator?
Bro, if women are doing crazy things in sports, why can't you do crazy things in business, bro? Like, if you have the opportunity to make content, there's so many brands out there that are begging for people to be a man that can do UGC. And just because you're a man doesn't mean you can't do it. I know there's more females in the space, but that's more room for growth, right? Like if more females enter, hey, I mean, you're just like, you're fitting into a needle in the haystack. It's like harder to notice, but us, you need more men. So why not you, bro? Why not you?
Let's go. So obviously you have like insider information, Brian, that most UGC creators don't really have, right? Because you're a part of the UGC Academy. So how does it feel like to have access to a bunch of like other coaches and professionals in the community who are actively hiring these UGC creators. For example, Alexander or David, right? Like, does it give you a fresh new perspective of like business and growth as a UGC creator, specifically being around people that are hiring these creators?
Yeah, it does. Because if you really think about it, right? If you are around people in your space and they're even higher than you, or they're in a different realm of the industry of you, that honestly gives you so much more of a leg up because you have so much more perspective. So now you can think bigger and you have more opportunities. You have a bigger network. Now you can get into other opportunities that you never thought you'd get. And I think that's just so important within like the coaching space as well as mentorship, because
Mm,
sometimes we feel like, oh, maybe it's kind of risky to, invest in this mentor or find a mentor, get a coach, but you want to actually expand your opportunities. So why
yeah.
not?
What was
Exactly.
like your biggest takeaway from learning from advanced brand owners and coaches that have done crazy things? They've made waves in the industry.
I think one of the biggest things that a lot of people resonate with is that virality is not everything.
Mm,
A lot of people chase virality, but the issue is a lot of virality can be like quote unquote bad marketing. And you can get all this eyeballs, but can it convert to real dollars? At the end of the day, it's a business and business needs cash flow. If you're not getting cash flow, your business is going to die. You can be the most
hmm
viral person on planet Earth like Mr. Beast, but if you don't know how to sell things on the back end, it's not going to matter. Or you're not attracting the right audience, doesn't matter. You don't know how to make conversion driven content, doesn't matter. So you need to really focus on those things, be able to actually convert people because that's how you have a business, not just a movie theater.
100%. And business is all systems, right? The systems you have in your brain, the systems you have in the front and back end, everywhere. So for you, Brian, how did it feel to land your first UGC client? And how much was that client?
My very first one before or during you?
During the UGC Academy.
During me. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So it felt really good, honestly, like because I was getting back in the game. I landed, I think it was like two or three videos for like $300. That was when I was first starting back up. So I was like, you know what? It's fine. It was
Yeah.
cool because it was an AI dating rizzing app. I was like,
Ah,
interesting niche. It was
perfect
fun.
for you.
I think it was a good way to get back into it. It was fun.
Yeah. And then I mean, you've grown so much with us in the UGC Academy. So what was your kind of highest month in business so far?
In UGC alone, I'm waiting on like 7K right now. Like
Oh
waiting for
my,
7K. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
$10,000?
Yeah. Um,
How old are you?
so
Remind me
I'm
how old you
22.
are. You're
22.
22 and you just made 7K from UGC?
Oh yeah, I'm waiting for 7K. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh. How does that make you feel, Brian?
It honestly is pretty crazy. Like I'm like, what the heck? This is actually possible. And
Yeah.
realizing like if I could keep this pace up, I'm making like doctor salary without needing to go to grad school and, get into
Oh,
debt.
yeah. It's powerful. And
Quite
even
mad.
like, what would you tell that person? What would you tell that person, Brian, that's like watching this and they didn't even think making that much money specifically from their like iPhone is possible? What would you tell them?
Online money is real. It truly is. It sounds too good to be true, but it truly is real. There are so many people in this world that you can capitalize on even a small piece of the pie. And there
Hmm.
are so many ways to make money online. Why can't you do it? So many people doing it, and you're just scaring yourself away from the opportunity that could change your life. So yeah, take a shot on yourself.
And I mean, you've made a ton of money from UGC. You're making already $7,000 in this month, and it's the 18th of November, right? So, my question to you is like, how has UGC so far completely changed your life?
UGC, because it's all online, it's really cool that I have the ability to just be at home and I don't need to necessarily like, oh, I have to go drive out to a job or sit in traffic in LA traffic. Oh my gosh, that'd be awful. Um, Being able to just be free with my time and just be able to just make content. Like I can only imagine how rough it must have been for people like ages or decades ago, right? Like these people had to grind for the same money as we do, but we have the privilege to be able to just use our phones, just connect to Wi-Fi, make some videos, bro. Like it doesn't take that long. You have to do some retakes, edit, but at the end of the day, dude, think about perspective. You could be slaving away as like a farmer, right? And making way less. You have the opportunity to do way less, much more easily, much more fun, and make more cash. So you need to think bigger and take a shot on yourself, please.
I always
Please.
tell people bro, it's like, it's not like we're rocket scientists. It's not like we're, you know, like surgeons out there. We're UGC creators. We're creating videos for brands. It's very simple, and it's such a need in the market where anyone can jump in.
Yeah, 100%. Literally anyone can jump in. Like I've seen goofballs make crazy money and they're not even in UGC, but I think anyone can literally do UGC. Truly.
For sure. And how do you see like the UGC industry evolving like over time, over the next like 6-12 months?
I think over time, it's going to definitely evolve where a lot of brands right now are trying to get a lot of people to just mass produce content for them and just get views and pay people through CPMs and all that stuff. However, at some point, a lot of these brands are going to have the brand awareness, but now they need conversion driven content. And a lot of people don't know how to make that content or they don't want to. That's where you can come in. Another segment in the market that is definitely coming soon is AI content, AI UGC. Being able to learn how to make that and be able to articulate that as an upsell within your human UGC would be something that could definitely be valuable to brands as well.
So more systems, sounds like.
Exactly.
Yeah. And with that being said, like how, like, would you recommend this path of like mentorship to other creators, or like how do you feel about the investment you made into your education as a UGC creator?
Think about it like this. If you go to a half decent school, let's just say it's like 3K or like 5K, dude, you're barely using that stuff to help you at your job, right? Most of the time, at least. Why would you not invest 1, 2, 50K on yourself to learn whatever skill that you were interested in learning, right? So if you're interested in learning crypto or UGC, why would you not invest into yourself from
Mm-hmm.
someone that has already gone through the steps, has gone through the whole thing, has the information you're looking for, has a community of people that can help you and pick you up when you're struggling? Why would you
Yeah.
not invest into that? That's something that you need to realize, that if you've already been through the cycle of going through school, you need to open your mind to the idea of online education outside of school, because you're
Mm,
never that is going to be a student forever. You have to be a student for life. You have to be a
mm,
student for life. And you need to be willing to invest in your own education, because once you don't invest and help your brain, you're going to die.
wow. That's a fact though. If you stop learning and stop being in that learning mindset, you are limiting your own growth. You always have to be
Exactly.
learning.
Always.
So, Brian, what was like your biggest doubt before like making the commitment into yourself, about mentorship? And what would you say to others who might be dealing with that same struggle?
I think my biggest doubt when I first got back into it was, is this truly the business that I want to do? I think for me, I was like skeptical because I was like, I want to do this. It feels like I'm doing like another job, right? Filming content, editing, outreaching, all that stuff. But I didn't realize, oh, wait, there's systems in place. Obviously, I got to still film the content, but a lot of it can be outsourced and make it so much more like a real business, right? Because the whole point of a business is to truly make it scalable, where if you stop doing stuff, you can still grow, right? So I realized that, okay, this is actually a true business that I could actually do because it's truly what I want. And I was like, okay, this is not going to be like me slaving away at another job. It's actually truly a business that you can scale to solid cash.
Let's go. Brian, thank you so much for sharing your story. It
Of
means the
course.
world. And Brian, like, where can people follow you and find you on social media?
Bet. On IG, I'm Mr. Diversify and Beanin13. Those are my two handles.
Let's go, guys. Go give Brian a follow. Again, thanks, Brian, so much for hopping on with us today. And yeah, again, thank you.
Of course. Have a good one, y'all.